Hi Cancer, this is Becky, and we are just about ready to start your December 2017 AngelScope reading. And we have in front of us today our trusty Wheel of the Year Tarot, which are beautiful cards. They love to talk, very chatty indeed. If we need clarification as we go along, I've got my trusty Rider-Waite Tarot. We will also be hearing messages from Archangel Michael, who wants to join us today, along with a card from the Romance Angels Oracle card deck. And if we feel guided, we will proceed to draw another card from the Messages from Your Angels Oracle cards. Now, the readings today, or the reading today that we're doing for you, my dear Cancerians, is a general reading. So that means that not all of the messages that we hear today will apply directly to you, although they could. So keep that in mind. As we go through, whatever sounds right for you, great. And if it doesn't sound like it applies to you, that's okay. Just leave that aside. It probably applies to some other Cancerians who are finding our videos today. Okay, now also another thing is, remember, you do have free will. It is your divine right and your divine gift. So if you decide that you want to work with the energies that come forth with us today, that's great. And if you decide you don't, then it's up to you, as always. I will be offering discounts for this month for personal readings, so if you are so inclined, please check the box below in the description area, and also I'll be giving gift certificates as well if you wish to order those. All right, so we're going to be doing our 5-card relationship spread, and we are ready to go. I've already created the sacred space. Here we go. Angels, we are reading now for our Cancerians out there, and we are reading for December 2017, Love Focus. And in the first position, Angels, we are trying to get information regarding the general situation between Cancer and the person or object of their desire, if they do not know the person yet. Angels, what can you tell us about this general situation between Cancer and the object of their desire? Cancer and the object of their desire. Angels, how does this other person feel about Cancer? How does this other person feel about Cancer in the month of December 2017? Thank you. Angels, how is Cancer feeling about this other person, the object of their desire? All right, here we go. How does Cancer really feel, Angels? Angels, how does Cancer really feel about this person? There it is. Thank you. Angels, what are the obstacles that may be present in this situation between Cancer and the other person? The obstacles that may be present. Whoops. The obstacles that may be present. That one flew off the table, and we will take it. Angels, what is the outcome or advice you have for our Cancerians? Thank you. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn our cards over, and we will be looking at them. And I'll show them to you as we move along. This is the one that flew off the table. I don't read reversals, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that straight up. I must have just placed it incorrectly when I picked it up off the floor, but we'll look at it. All right, Cancer, we have the Fool, Major Arcana. We have 7 of Wands. We have 10 of Swords. And we have the Hierophant, number 5 in the Major Arcana, followed by, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable, the Lover's card, which is number 6 in the Major Arcana. I have had this card come out, I believe, in either every reading so far or 3 out of the 4 I've done so far, and twice in this very position. Very interesting month we have in December, I must say. Indeed, I believe there is some sort of harmonious conversation occurring between Venus and Saturn, which means that love may become very serious indeed and taken to a very high level. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, we said in the first position, this energy here of the Fool, which is the 0 point, the 0 point of all possibilities. It is the entire field of possibilities. This is the general situation between you, Cancer, and the other person or object of your desire. If you do not have anyone particular in mind as you came to this reading today, then please take all the energies we're talking about as sort of a general snapshot of where you are personally at, energetically speaking, in the month of December regarding love. And if there is some way that you can shift that to be what you want it to be, then that is what you will draw to you. Remember, if we get a snapshot of some kind of energy that could be improved so that you're a vibrational match for your love, which is waiting for you out there in the ether, you are connecting on a soul level always. And so even if you don't know who this person is or they haven't arrived in the 3D form, you are connected on the soul level. So keep that in mind. But once we consider that the general situation surrounding you, Cancer, and the other person involved, or someone who you've been thinking about, or even someone who you feel a connection with but hasn't yet materialized for you. This is the field of all possibilities. It's sort of like that void where all things are possible, all things can happen. It's just going to depend on, your particular energy and how you're manifesting, basically drawing into your world this person, the object of your desire, or the one that you are most interested in at this time. And this is the 0. You can see that this young man is sort of balancing himself inside this oval-shaped 0, and it is a card of fresh starts, new beginnings, a zest for discovery and adventure, and risk. This is a general situation that is very, very potent at this particular moment in the month of December of 2017 for something to come forth from the ether or from whatever foundations have been laid to generate love for you, Cancer, with another, emotional intimacy with another. And as you can see, he's just about to make or transition this gap between these two precipices. I'm not sure that's the word. Precipi? No, I don't think so. But anyway, these two mountaintops here. And just as this rolls across, he's not looking down to worry about this risk he's taking. No, 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 no. He's got his eyes trained to the heavens out over here. And he's looking to his inspiration to guide him across this gap. So indeed, we can say that the general situation is one of great possibility without so much of a thought at this particular moment of risk. He's not worried about the risk. So let's see how it goes as we move along. How does the other person feel about you, Cancer? The other person is represented by the energy of the 7 of Wands. Now, the 7 of Wands can be a situation of, we can read it a lot of ways, a position of advantage is one way we can read this. Or we can say that the 7 of Wands is sort of in a defensive position, waiting to fend off any untoward movements in that person's direction, or any slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, to quote the bard, that may move in the direction of this side of this riverbank. We could say that this person, Cancer, has taken up a defensive position, and they're kind of watching and waiting to see what the next move will be from the other side of this river. The other side meaning the other side that we can't see. But they are sort of watching, waiting. They've set up, you can see the wands here, their bulwark, and they are waiting to see. They're watching, waiting, ready to defend, but at the same time, eyes trained on the other side of that river, which would be eyes trained on you, Cancer. This person appears to have taken up some sort of watching and waiting and even somewhat of a defensive position, a protective stance, so to speak, not fully revealing all their cards. They're kind of watching to see what you're going to do, Cancer. They're not quite sure it's safe to take down these barricades and to traverse that river. They're not quite sure. But they're watching and waiting and ready. Watching, waiting and ready, at the ready. How are you feeling about this other person? It looks to me like, Cancer, that there's a lot of ways we could interpret the Ten of Swords. And the way we're going to look at it here is how you feel about them. Now, it could go where this card is your energy at this point, your energy. You are ready, we could say, to bury whatever's gone before that has caused disruption, maybe some level of discomfort, maybe even arguments, maybe even some level of emotional, what's the word I want, disruptions. And how you're feeling about them is either they may have brought forth this energy in you and you're ready to put that aside, to put it to bed, to bury it and let it go and offer forgiveness, perhaps, or at least, call an end to any of this kind of worry or negative self-talk or, any kind of strife or struggle. That's how you're seeing them. You're ready to put that to rest. Or, on the other hand, you could see that person as ready now to put behind them whatever has caused them pain in the past. In any case, the Ten of Swords is the end of a cycle. And so whatever has gone before, the worst is over. Whatever has gone before. It looks to me like there's been a skirmish. There's been a skirmish, Cancer. I don't know what it is, but there may have been some disagreements. There may have been two ways of looking at a matter. There may have been two different goals at work here. And for whatever reason, there is some disruption between these two souls, yours and the others. You're seeing them as this, they're sort of seeing you as this. So they feel this about you and you feel this about them. There's been some kind of learning experience between the two of you that may have been a little bit unpleasant or uncomfortable emotionally, which has caused them to feel they need to be a little defensive, and which has caused you maybe to even worry that it's done, that whatever went on, that was it, it was the end, and that's it. It's irreparable. But I'm here to tell you, Cancer, it is not irreparable. Why do I say that? First of all, the overarching energy which trumps these two cards is the Fool. The energy is still there for new beginnings, fresh starts, taking risks, achieving anything that your heart desires. It's still there, and it's still there to connect the two of you, no matter what has happened here. But know this, whatever it is, for you, it's already, the worst has happened, and that's it. It's the end of that. We can put that to bed, we can bury that and walk away. And if there is any forgiveness to be given, then you're feeling like either you want to forgive and forget and move on from it, or you want them to forgive and forget and move on from it, or you both do. maybe it's a mutual decision, and they're open to that as well because they're sitting here in this position. They haven't walked away from the river. They're just sort of sitting there a little bit on the defensive, but you still both are in the field of all possibilities. So there's still hope there always. And I say that because let's look at this. This card is the number 5 in the major arcana, and it's called the Hierophant. Some people call it the Hierophant, but nonetheless, it's sort of like a high priest or basically a pope or some very high religious figure here. Now, the Hierophant represents, a lot of things. It can represent conformity. It can represent tradition. It can represent in the inverse, which is how I accidentally laid it out, there are no accidents, so maybe we're to talk about it like this. If it represents the inverse, it can represent dogmatic. Dogmatic, what's the word I want? Oh gosh, I mean, so stringently bound by traditions and by dogma and by, some sort of formal religious concepts that don't bend or move or whatever. It can mean so constrained by that one becomes unreasonable, judgmental even, virulently dogmatic in some kind of set religious practice. Upright, and it can mean a lack of commitment, a lack of understanding higher level principles. But in the upright, which is how I'm looking at it here, it represents possibility of commitment. And I just heard forgiveness. Look at this picture. You've got this, it's basically a supplicant, a congregant, someone from the congregation over which a high priest figure presides. And he's coming to take the hand of this high priest to somehow receive absolution, forgiveness, restitution. He's trying to make amends. But it definitely can refer to all of these things. So the obstacle here is to remain open, free thinking, and not sink into dogma, judgmentalism, and strictness. So the whole obstacle may be the temptation to do that, to become so dogmatic and so restricted in one's ways and beliefs that it snuffs out and stifles completely of this fresh, breezy air. Look at the energy on this card. It's fresh, breezy, pregnant with all possibilities in life. It's freeing, it's joy-filled. And when we look at this, especially if we wanted to go upside down with it, it's a little bit constrained, the energy there. So the obstacle can be that constraint and dogmatic thinking will stifle this beginning. But the advice is this. Number 6 is the Lovers. It's a beautiful card. Again, one of the major energies of the tarot, the major arcana, and this angel, this heavenly being, has come down from heaven, assisted by these beautiful doves, to take some of the heavenly ribbons of silk and join these two hands together, which is symbolic of joining those two souls together. This is a card, yes, of what it appears to be marriage, at whatever that means to you, partnership, up-leveling wherever a relationship is at the moment, but it is this divine joining of souls that's the most important thing. And they are focused on each other as this angel joins their hearts together. Now, the Lovers can also refer in some situations to a choice. And I don't see this as a choice between two people. Cancer. I see this as a choice that you need to make between dogmatic thinking and unforgiveness, which stifles this new beginning of fresh air with the Fool, or a choice of perhaps forgiveness for what something that went on, and learning from that experience, which the Hierophant can represent a higher learning. So it's your spiritual up-leveling. It's a spiritual learning. It's a soul lesson that may be learned, that it may be learned from this, whatever went on here. And by doing so, you ascend to a higher level, which enables you to reach this. Because remember, what you think about, you bring about. As you vibrate your internal energy set point, you will attract like. So to attract this beautiful scene, you're going to have to learn that lesson, and the other person will too, not just you, Cancer, in order to start afresh. So I see new possibilities here. Let's see what the archangels have to say. Archangels and romance angels. We need a message for Cancer, and there it is. Wow, your messages are coming quickly. Archangel Michael, our Cancerians are here, and they've got a lovely reading with a little bit of a soul lesson there. Can you help us, Archangel Michael? Give us a message, please, Archangel Michael, for our Cancers. Archangel Michael for Cancerians. Nope. Archangel Michael for Cancerians for the month of December. Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, there it is. Whoops, that's too many, that's like 5. Archangel Michael, there it is. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Okay, let's go ahead and look here. Wow, what did we just say? Cancer, I am getting so many angel bumps, I can't believe it. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Isn't that what we said this is about? It's so beautiful to see that there's another chance about to emerge for you and this other person, or the person that you've been connected to in the ether, because lessons have been learned. Forgiveness has been granted. Boundaries and barricades have been lowered, which will allow ascension into this. Now, let's see what Archangel Michael says. Archangel Michael says, shield yourself. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe, whoever they may be. So, I think what Archangel Michael is here to tell us is that as you make the transition from these worrisome energies into the light of this Fool card, which is not foolish, it is a card of all possibilities. And as you have learned your lessons now and achieved a higher vibrational set point to ascend to this, and to reconcile with this person or someone you've known before, whether in this life or in another, if you subscribe to that belief, just know that you are protected, and shield yourself and call upon Archangel Michael so that this energy here does not come back into your mind. Make sure that you stop all negative self-talk, all negative internal monologues. Let go of pain and know that Archangel Michael is protecting you every step of the way, you and the other person involved. As the reconciliation manifests, if that's what you want, Cancer, it's on order. And know that with that, this is possible. It's up to you, Cancer. It's up to you. All right, what a beautiful reading. It's a bit of a journey there for you, but I love to see the way Spirit is telling us it can go, and I'm very pleased to see that. I'm so happy to have read for you today, Cancer. I want to just wish you all the best for this holiday season. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever holidays that you celebrate. I want to thank you for being with me. And I want to say, as I always do, I wish you peace, richest blessings, and great love, Cancer, beyond your wildest dreams. And so it is, and so we let it be.